Welcome back to Tom's Garage. Cold rainy morning. Ooh. Brr. Today we are going to be replacing the ignition coil on a Husqvarna 150 BT. Yep, buddy. Yep, buddy. Customer said that thing runs for about 30 minutes and gets hot and cuts off, and it won't crank again until it's cooled down, and that tells me it's the coil. Yep. So let's see if I can remember what the part number for that coil is. Let me look right here. 502846 401 is the part number for the curl. And there it is. Pa-pow. So let's get busy. This is a pretty simple one here. Pretty simple. Let me set the camera up and we will do it. Do it, do it. Do it to it. Let's say you've got 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to take this off, and then this will just pull off. I'm going to go ahead and just take the plug. You don't have to, but I'm going to go ahead and take the spurt plug out, and I'm going to test the spurt, because now it won't even crank even when it's cold. And I can guarantee she has finally completely given up her ghost. Let me grab a wire. There's really no good place to ground this thing. So what I'm gonna do, let's see. Just gonna lay it over in his face. There we go. There we go. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take and stick this little wire, a little alligator clip, somewhere on the metal part of the engine, right there. If I can get my big fat fingers in there. There we go. Hang on to that little alligator clip. And I'll take the other end. Let me show you where I'm going to put the other end of that wire. Stand her back up. That way I know this tester's getting a good ground, because that wire's not long enough to reach anywhere. It's a good ground. Don't know how well you can see that little sparky tester. Let's see. Need to put something back under it. I'll put this old nasty grease rag under it so you can see the spark a little better. See the little sparkler a little better. Give it a few pulls. And we have no spark. The on-off switch is a rocker switch, so it automatically goes back to on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take and unplug the wire. I'm going to unplug the kill wire going to the coil. That's going directly to the coil. That's the kill wire. So the coil is isolated. That'll rule out any kind of short in the wire going all the way up to the on-off switch. All the way down. That's going to eliminate the possibility of any of that being the problem. Yeah, let's try it again. And we still have nothing. Still have nothing. So I believe it's going to be the curl. I believe. Okay, now we'll grab our little tool. All we'll need for this job is just a T27 Torx. 227 and a spark plug wrench and a little business card. Ignition coil install card. It's just a business card, same thickness. That's all it is. Okay. Lay it on its little face. Let's see. We'll get these four. Well, let's get these. Get this recoil starter off here first. 2, 3, 4. 4 screws, Torx 27, and that'll just come right off. Stick that over there. Okay. And we'll take the 4 screws. Make sure you've got 1 screw straight down there, right about there. You've got a screw there. You've got a screw there. And you've got a screw down there. Right there. And this cover will just come right off. Come right off. Okay. And it helps a whole lot. It helps a tremendous amount. If you have one that's magnetized, see what I do is I take this, I keep this on the workbench because this will fit, you know, steel and different brands. I keep it right there on that stack of magnets. Right there. That's where she lives, right there. And when I need it, it's magnetized. It makes life so easy. Makes it easy. That one way down yonder. See there? Oh. And we got one more there. Yeah, these 150 BTs, I believe they're sold at Lowe's. Lowe's sells Husqvarna and Home Depot sells Echo. And these are pretty easy to work on. Pretty simple. It just comes right off. And what we're going to do, this fuel tank is just held on by 3 screws. That fuel tank, because it's right in the way. That's why I like Husqvarna, because the ignition coil is right behind that plate right there, behind this fuel tank. And we'll just pop the old fuel tank off with 3 screws there. One there. One there. And one there. And we'll take the fuel tank and just set it up and out of the way because the fuel lines and stuff are still attached. Don't want to bother them. Don't want to bother them. And right there is the inspection plate. You've got 1 screw right there. 1 little screw right there holding that plate on. And there's your coil. You've got the kill wire going to it. You've got your spark plug wire that comes up and goes all the way up through there and comes out at the very top. It's held on by 1 little clamp right there. You can take your finger and just bend that up and out of the way. And there you go. And there you go. So, I'm gonna hit pause and set my camera up in a different way so y'all can see what I'm doing. Hang with. Okay. Okay. Got your spark plug wire. Inside of this little rubber grommet, it acts as a seal for the dust. You've got 2 wires coming in. One is a ground and one goes to the coil as a kill to ground that. When you hit the switch, it puts continuity between these 2 and kills the spark. So, and let's see, I'm gonna grab my little needly nose. Pull this wire off. Pull that wire off. And you've got 2 screws holding the coil on. It mounts just like that. You've got 2 screws, well, I lied, like that. 2 screws that hold it on. When we put the new one on, I'm going to put the business card between the flywheel and the coil. Snug it up, then tighten it, then work my card back out. And that'll give us the perfect clearance. So let's take this screw off. Take that screw off. And this thing will just lift off. Just like that. And we'll come around here, take our spark plug wire and just work it through there. There you go. Out with the old. And now we'll take like that. Feed the spark plug wire back through there again. Under the intake manifold. Kind of hard to feed it through there. There we go. Pull it up through the top of the engine. Let me get behind you here. There we go. And there's your spark plug wire. And we'll get these wires out of the way. We'll put them back on the last. Let's see, let me spin this around and find the magnet on the flywheel. There it is right there. And get the magnet out of the way for now. And when we put the coil on there and get that business card for thickness in there, I'll just spin this around and let the magnet suck the coil up to it nice and tight. Nice and tightly. We'll get one screw started just a little bit. And feed it back through this terminal here, back to that hole there. Well, very gently, not to cross thread that. And we'll take the business card. I may have to take these 2 screws and back them way out to get better clearance, but make sure that card is worked down in there. And make sure that business card is covering both of these points. Just don't let it be on one, because then this one will be too close. And hit the flywheel. Okay, we are on there. Take my finger and just kind of push it up nice and tight. I'm going to hold on to the card, spin the flywheel back around to where the magnet grabs it. There you go. It's activated. Push it up there. Now we can tighten it. A little bit. A little bit. Now we'll work the business card back out. Spin it around a little bit. The clearance looks good. It's not going to hit nothing. Let's see. I'm going to take my other Torx 27 by hand and make sure it's nice and tight. Okay. We'll take and hook this wire back up. That terminal right there is pushed up against the coil. Let me grab a small little screwdriver and bring that out just a little bit. There we go. And we'll grab it by the... Shut up, doggy! Well, now he's barking more. And plug that back in. Now this grommet, it's got a place right there where you can put these two wires. See that little space right there? There we go. It still had some rubber on it when it was formed. Can't get my hands in there real good. So we'll take both of these little wires and sink them inside this rubber grommet as best you can. Okay. Get up in there, bolt. We'll take it and push that down. Just like that. That keeps those two wires from vibrating against that metal engine block and shorting out. Okay. Now we'll take the cover plate, put it back on there. Take this little screw, put it back in there. Okay, take your spark plug wire, work it back around, put it back in this little clamp holder deal there. And there we go. Put the fuel tank back on. See the little inserts, 3 screws hold this fuel tank on. Grab the 3 screws. These 3 screws have a pretty big washer on there. Try not to get them mixed up with the other screws. All right, that one's on there. I don't tighten them up until I know all 3 of them are threaded in. You might have to wiggle this tank around a little bit. I don't get these really especially tight because those inserts are just melted into that plastic. So do it by hand. It ain't got to be super tight. All right, there's that. And we'll put the cover back on. Let's see, this spark plug wire has got to come up through here. It's got to go inside that little groove made for it. And just like that. So we'll let that little boy hang out right there while we get the cover back on. Make sure it's all the way down. Get the 4 screws back in. These are really, really coarse threaded because they go into plastic. So be very gentle. Be very gentle. Very gentle. There's 2. 3. 4. Okay, put your little starter back on. Lost the washer. And make sure she's seated all the way down. I'm just going to start these very carefully. Not going to tighten them down until all 4 of them are on there and lined up. Get in the hole. Oh, just lost that washer. There it is. Okay. What's going on with my lights in here? Huh. I hear them blinking. I see them blinking. I don't hear them blinking. Give it a tighten. Give it a tighten. These are pretty small, fine thread screws, so try to be easy on them. Try to be very easy. Okay. Let me hit pause. I'm going to move the camera back over here. Okay, we will hook our little sparky tester back up. Good ground. Now we'll give her a couple of pulls and see what she's going to give us. Ooh, don't hang on to that, boy. There we go. We got some good sparky. Good sparkage. Good sparkage. Now we'll put the spark plug back in it. Not overly tight. Oh, go ahead. Tear the table off. I don't know, that's just me. I don't like anything on this table when I crank up anything at all. I don't know, that's just my habit. Okay, let's half throttle, switches on, wires are hooked back up. You know, to me, Husqvarna, these things are backwards. You push down to choke and up to unchoke, which that goes opposite. This is weird. They just want to be different. Give it about 5 or 6 good little purges. Choke, contact, unchoke, choke it back. As my buddy Brian says, all right, mate. That was a poor impersonation, wasn't it? Well, thanks for watching the video, fellas. Boy, that little Husqvarna sure is quiet. It's powerful, too. It says it's only 72 decibels. Huh, that's a pretty nice little blower. I might be a Husqvarna fan. Well, thanks for watching the video, boys and girls. We'll try to keep them pumping out for you this winter. If I can keep enough stuff to do, we'll keep up the videos. Love you guys. Thanks for watching, and we will see y'all on the next one.